Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, a brazen robbery caught on camera, damage to his establishment, and a possible involvement of a government vehicle. That's how the week started for one popular St. Croix business owner who spoke to News 2 and shared the details of a heist that cost his store an ATM machine. News 2's April Knight has that story.
Angel Diaz, owner of Lorraine Chicken Shack, did a fast job of fixing this railing of his popular restaurant. Only yesterday, this section was practically destroyed as what appeared to be 3 robbers took off with the ATM machine in the store, and all of it caught on camera.
Around 5:40 when my dad came in to open the business, as he does every morning, and he discovered that the ATM box was out here in the front of the building, on the side of the building, and the damages to the building.
The robbers arrived at around 3:26 Monday morning with a flatbed truck and a strap. After several tries, they backed the truck into the restaurant itself. One of them tied the strap around the ATM machine and jumped on the back of the truck, which drove off some distance. It completely uprooted the ATM machine and destroyed the restaurant's railing. The trio picked up the machine together and fumbled a little bit here, but they finally got the actual machine onto the back of the truck and promptly drove away. The whole thing was over in 4 minutes. The footage holds many clues that Diaz, who used to be part of Governor DeYoung's security detail, lost no time following. He saw the markings on the truck, did his own investigation, and concluded that the truck used in the robbery was a government vehicle.
Got all the way to the west side, Concordia office, and discovered that that was a public works truck. I discovered through one of the workers there that their vehicle was missing, and it looked like they drove the truck off the yard, through the gate, and caused some damage to their gate.
Now, one thing we do want to make clear is that currently there is no evidence whatsoever that a government employee had been involved, only that a government vehicle might have been used. Diaz said he's also very impressed with the VIPD for the quick response time. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Now, the VIPD had no information available regarding the robbery when we tried to contact them on Tuesday afternoon. Chicken Shack owner Angel Diaz also said he does not know if the machine had cash in it. Well, in other crime reports, on Friday, July 17th, at around 6:30 p.m., Irvin Jones, 54 years of age, was arrested and charged with third-degree assault after he was positively identified by a complainant as the person who attempted to slice them. Jones was unable to post bail of $25,000 and was remanded to the Bureau of Corrections pending his advice of rights hearing. That same day, however, around 12:45 p.m. also, Marcus Williams, 43 of Gamblegata, was arrested and charged with third-degree assault for striking his girlfriend with a metal pipe several times. Friday, July 3rd, Williams was remanded to the Bureau of Corrections. Also, Benito Darson Jr., 31 years of age, from Anna's Retreat, was charged with grand larceny and unauthorized use of a vehicle after he'd been involved in an auto collision. He was remanded to the BOC after being unable to post the $45,000 bail. At 3:28 a.m., both units from Lima Company for the VI Fire Services responded to an activated fire at number 3-03 Bavoni. Firefighters, upon arrival, came upon a trailer they say engulfed in flames, and due to their quick assessment of the scene, firefighters made entry into the trailer and contained that fire to the rear of the structure. Within minutes, the fire was extinguished. Firefighters then conducted their salvage and overhaul operations of the structure. Contact was made with the arson investigation unit, and at this time, the cause of that fire is under investigation. Well, VI Alert has been sending out a steady stream of earthquake alerts, but the seismic events are mostly in the Mona Passage west of Puerto Rico. Officials from the Puerto Rico Seismic Network in Mayagüez say no need to worry. They're normal. As of 4 p.m. Saturday, VI Alert listed more than 90 earthquakes in both the Mona Passage and narrowed to the Virgin Islands with a magnitude of more than 2.5 on the Richter scale since 4 p.m. Thursday. The U.S. Geological Survey said a magnitude 6.4, however, quake was centered 81 miles northeast of Bridgetown, Barbados on Thursday and was widely felt throughout the Caribbean. But officials say there were no reports of damage or injuries. The crew of a Coast Guard helicopter medevaced a 79-year-old woman from the Caribbean Breeze cruise ship on Monday evening, approximately 90 nautical miles northwest of San Juan, Puerto Rico. The Coast Guard received that notification at 4:30 p.m. Monday from the crew aboard the cruise ship, reporting the woman, a U.S. citizen, required medical attention ashore. The cruise ship was transiting from Miami to St. Martin when the incident was reported to the Coast Guard. Coast Guard helicopter arrived. The woman was placed on a litter and hoisted aboard the aircraft with a cruise ship nurse. The Coast Guard helicopter transported the patient and the nurse to the Isla Grande airport. Well, as we reported on Monday, the Mappin administration has named another cabinet nominee, this time for the Virgin Islands Bureau of Corrections. Acting Governor Osbert Potter made that announcement on Monday and spoke at length about why, in the face of current odds, the new director nominee is the right man for the job. News2's April Knight has details.
The embattled Virgin Islands Bureau of Corrections has a new director. In a press conference Monday, Acting Governor Osbert Potter announced Rick Mulgrove's nomination as the latest of Governor Mapp's cabinet nominees.
We expect that he will hit the ground running. He has the capacity to do so. He has the experience to do so. He knows the territory. You know, he's a product of our soil.
Said experience includes 9 years with Gwinnett County Sheriff's Department. Over the years, Mulgrove has served as Deputy Sheriff, Manager of Inmate Service Staff, Corporal, and Special Projects Coordinator. If confirmed by the Senate, Mulgrove will be inheriting a broken system that's faced a consent decree for many years.
We believe that our correctional facility, right now being under the consent decree, will find itself gradually stepping out of that consent decree, because we expect strong leadership to be in place with the experience that Mr. Mulgrove will be bringing.
Mulgrove's predecessor, Julius Wilson, has gotten a vote of no confidence from the 30th legislature. Wilson was accused of not knowing what goes on in the system marked by inadequate security, incidences of crime, and corrections officers involved in trafficking contraband. Mulgrove did not share in Monday's press conference his strategies for bringing the Bureau up to constitutional standards, but Potter said he's confident in Mulgrove's background.
That is certainly something that he will be ready and willing to tell you in short order once he gets on the job and once he reviews all the facilities. But be mindful of the fact that he is experienced in that area.
For News 2, I'm April Knight.
Well, director nominee Rick Mulgrove will take over the position currently held by Dwayne Benjamin, who served as acting director after Julius Wilson's departure late last year. Senator Kenneth Gittens, chairman of the Committee on Rules and Judiciary, over the weekend says that he holds that Commissioner nominee Randolph Bennett does not possess a master's degree, as he claims. On Monday, July 13th, while under oath, Bennett told the Rules and Judiciary Committee that he has a Master's of Science degree in counseling from Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. Gittens condemns Bennett's assertion that he has earned the degree. According to the senator, they have already received information from Liberty University that Bennett does not hold a master's degree from that institution. Senator Gittens said he is disappointed because Bennett comes highly qualified according to his portfolio, but his character and credibility has been called into question. According to the senator, Bennett's nomination was sent on to the full body and may be considered later this month. Well, in other news, our VI team departed today for the opening ceremony of the Special Olympics World Games in Los Angeles on Saturday, July 25th in the historic Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The VI will be represented by 19 of our very own athletes in the star-studded show, who will be taking part in bowling, tennis, track and field, shot, put, powerlifting, and aquatics, and they received a generous donation.
The Honorable Governor and Lieutenant Governor of the Virgin Islands, Kenneth Mapp, and Osbert Potter, along with the Commissioner of the Virgin Islands of the Department of Sports, Park, and Recreation, and the Territorial ADA Coordinator, are honored and pleased to be able to assist and support Special Olympics in the Virgin Islands. The goal of Special Olympics is to provide year-round sports training and athletics competition for children and adults with intellectual disabilities. On behalf of the government of the Virgin Islands, the Commissioner Pedro Cruz, and myself, I am honored to give you this check and to wish you best of luck.
On behalf of the Board of Special Olympics Virgin Islands, we accept your gracious offering for these students and these athletes to travel. They're moving toward unified games, and this is one of the first Special Olympics where they will have unified game events in Los Angeles. It's a great event. They're going to have a lot of good fun. Opening night's going to have Stevie Wonder, Robin Roberts. They're going to have a whole bunch of people from different countries. We hope for safe travels for all the athletes, all the coaches, Ms. Meistermaker, Mr. Massey, and all they come back safe and sound from Los Angeles with lots of gold.
Well, congrats to our athletes, and the total on that check is $31,169. Well, as we reported, the 25th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act is being recognized, and the Virgin Islands Vocational Rehabilitation Program and the State Rehabilitation Council is planning an exciting event. They are having a reenactment ceremony on Friday, July 24th at 11 a.m. at the Department of Human Services Vocational Rehabilitation Courtyard. Now, on July 26, 1990, President George W. Bush signed into law the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, to ensure the civil rights of people with disabilities. The event is being held to celebrate and recognize the progress that has been made. We'll turn our attention overseas. Tallahassee police are still searching for a man who claims to have placed a bomb at the National Guard Armory. The Armory was evacuated, and Tallahassee police cars with flashing lights are guarding its entrances. According to TBP spokesperson, officers are looking for a black man in his 40s wearing camouflage pants and a black shirt, possibly armed with a handgun. Northway says the suspect approached a man in the parking lot of the nearby Dollar General store at the intersection of East Park Avenue and asked if he had a phone. When he said yes, the suspect told him to call the police because he had placed a bomb at the Armory. The suspect was last seen going into the woods behind the shopping center at the corner of Park Avenue and Capitol Circle Northeast. And they were seen as K-9 teams emerged from the woods, and a helicopter was searching overhead. The Florida National Guard spokesman says there are about 30 people evacuated from the Armory this morning, and there were no training exercises going on at the time. Police did have someone in custody, but later said it was a mistake. And at this point, no one has been detained, questioned, or arrested in the case. And keeping our eye on the economy, here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. Taking a look at the numbers there, as you can see, everything down. The Dow down 181, NASDAQ 10, S&P 500 9. Coming up on News 2, Kappa, Rotary East, My Brother's Workshop, they all work together for our kids and elderly. They say it's just the simple things. We'll explain. Plus, what are your thoughts about the fence around the Rothschild Francis Market Square? A town hall is coming up that focuses on just that. Details. So what are your thoughts about that fence around the Rothschild Francis Market Square? Commissioner of Agriculture nominee Carlos Robles invites the St. Thomas community to a town hall meeting to discuss the history and future of that fence. Officials from Public Works, Federal Highway Program, DPNR, State Historic Preservation Office, and other individuals will provide the background of that project, the history of the fence and the project, and the future of the fence. For more information, call 774-5182. It will be held at the Bicentennial Hall at the Christ Church Methodist in St. Thomas on Thursday, July 23rd, beginning at 5:30 p.m. Kappa, Rotary East, My Brother's Workshop, they all work together for our youngsters and elderly. They say it's the simple things that matters. A bus stop along Ridge Road had an old bench that may have been built by a citizen in the nearby neighborhood, but then a month later the bench was in pieces. Some believe a car struck it. Nevertheless, it's back and better than ever because of all the helping hands.
We combined Kappa and Rotary East to replace a bus stop sitting area that was apparently demolished by a car accident at the traffic light of Ridge Road and the entrance to Red Hook. First, we contacted my brother's workshop, and they agreed to do all the work, all the woodwork to put the bus stop back together. Now we have Pro Solar. They've agreed to put a light, on the canopy, which is yet to be built. We're, of course, very excited that we got everybody to chip in and make this project happen.
Job well done to those involved. Well, campers from PMP Summer Enrichment Program traveled to Annaberg Ruins on St. John last week, and they became some VI ambassadors because they teamed up with Boy Scouts from Pennsylvania, and they all learned some valuable lessons about VI history as they explored the ruins together. With the assistance of the National Park Service, everyone enjoyed some VI-style hospitality and treats such as baked bread, punch, and even made their own Johnny cakes. There are still few summer camps kicking off to get active this summer. Some art and cooking classes for ages 7 to 12 are scheduled at Creative Adventure on August 3rd to August 7th, Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 22B Strand Street, Christiansted. You can call 514-5556 or 773-4912. Also, the Dolphins Fun Camp encourage you to join them for a splash this summer on Monday. A new class begins, so it might not be too late. Actually, the class began on Monday, and it continues until August 7th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Ages 4 to 13, and that's at the Dolphins Pool at Good Hope Country Day School. In addition to swimming, attendees will learn arts and crafts as well as sports. For more information, you can call 340-719-SWIM. Well, it's not too late to catch some awesome jazz on this nice summer night and get some shopping in. It's on St. Thomas, but it's called the Cruisin Jazz Experience because it features Bronco Dem at the Waiko Dock at Havenside Mall. It began at 5:30, but it continues until 9:30 p.m., so there's some time. Dr. Olaf Bronco Hendricks is on saxophone, Dimitri Koopman, alto sax and vocals, Lauren Hughes, keyboard, Marsvin David, bass, McKiz Tong, steel pan, Jeremy Jagrup, drums, Austin DeChabert, percussion, Elvis Pedro, guitar, Revert Diaz, vocals. The opening act was the UVI Summer Band, directed by retired Professor Austin Vincent. Well, time for our consumer alert. We have some important advice about when not to mail a letter. As Consumer Alerts found out, there are certain times that can leave you vulnerable to being victimized by check forgers.
You are looking at ATM surveillance photos of a check deposit. The problem, the checks were forged. The 6 suspects involved in this ring broke into a blue mailbox with a crowbar and stole the mail inside.
Stolen the checks out of the mail, washed the checks, rewrote them, and then forged them at various ATMs.
A swift investigation by postal inspectors led them straight to surveillance photos at area ATMs.
These were checks that people were using to pay bills. They had driven to the post office the night before.
There were dozens of victims and $5,000 in losses.
It was very stressful for some of these victims. Some of them were living on a fixed income.
While it's rare for mailboxes to be broken into, postal inspectors advise consumers to not drop off their mail after the daily pickup time, to avoid having it sit overnight.
Most of the mail theft that we investigate is curbside, and most of those are where people deposit outgoing mail and the red flag is up. And that's just a warning, that's just a big marquee sign for, come look at me.
Also keep in mind, there is no mail pickup on Sunday.
If you deposit something on Saturday afternoon, it will not be picked up until Monday. And so that just gives thieves that much time to work with as far as stealing your mail.
To ensure your outgoing mail is safe, hand your mail to a letter carrier or drop it off directly at the post office. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.